Hello everyone. Update on Project Mini. I have an interior. It looks really nice. Just quickly show you what it looks like. This lovely red vinyl everywhere. I have a floor, a carpet on it. I have a gear knob. Those who are following will know I didn't have one before. And this sort of a dashboard is also in place. Steering wheel coming up soon. Yeah, it looks really cool. This will obviously, this is a bumper for the back. I'm just keeping it in here, but it looks really nice with an interior. I still need to do the door panels. I hadn't sorted out the locks yet, so that'll come later, and the roof lining. I've got some rust to deal with back there, so when I deal with the rust, I'll then sort out the roof lining. But today, we are doing neither of those things. We are doing the fan. So the fan here is supposed to, as I understand it, blow air at the radiator, which is, well, behind the fan. And it seems like it might be backwards. I'm not 100% sure. There might be a lot of effort for nothing if it's not backwards, but the car doesn't like to sit still for long. So if I drive, it's perfectly happy, but if I sit for like a minute stationary, it seems like it's overheating because then it just switches off. So gonna have a look. Apparently there's a bit of writing on the original Mini fan that says this side faces engine, so hopefully this says that, otherwise I'll have no idea which way to put it back in. Yeah, stay tuned for updates. I have never done anything to an engine before in my life. The most I've ever done is I put an air filter on my old Mini, and I've jump started cars. So this, I understand what stuff is, but I have never like I'm gonna have to take that screw off and that screw off, and it's terrifying. Wish me luck. Step one is to take off the grille, which I also have plans for, so it's 2-in-1. The grille here is black, and it's held in by 4 screws. So Mr. Flathead will sort this out. But I want to take this off and strip off the black paint, hoping that there's some chrome underneath, because chrome is the vibe for a Mini. Okay, fun update already. I don't know how to show you this. Okay, so there was a screw there, and there was a screw there, which I've just taken out because I could see them through here, under here. So they had like a little, what do you call it, a nut, so I could, take it out. These two, oh, that pauses because I realized I was playing music in my ears. I couldn't think and talk and listen to music at the same time. So this, for example, goes through, but I can't see it here because it's beyond this engine bay, which means I think I have to look under, which is like annoying. And there we go. Yeah, how modern problems require modern solutions. This is an old problem. It requires an old solution, which is to sit on the floor and do this. It's not working because this nut is super tight and I can't hold it. Ah, okay. Use the profanity. I have to use a tiny ass spanner. I don't think I have a spanner that size. There are lots of screws in this car that look like they did not come from the factory. That just doesn't seem like it should be there. Okay, I will provide an update when I figure out what I'm doing. Update. I have a little number 8 spanner. Look at me. So, one more screw to go. I think I recorded it, it stopped. Update on where we are. I have since removed the front grille, and my hands are black, and I've taken out one bolt. That guy, from the bottom all the way down there. Can't even show you, let's try though. So this is going to look really stupid because it's my left hand. I am trying to unscrew the bolt that is there. See where the spanner is? So I get this much turning room, and then I hit the whatever that is. That pain in the ass. And the socket wrench doesn't work there because it's too big. And if I'm basically jamming it against what I think might be, that's not the alternator. Anyone with a brain the alternator has a belt on it. The belt is connected to the fan, and the same belt runs down somewhere. What is the somewhere? Thank you. It's been 2 days since I worked on the car. For continuity, I'm wearing pretty much the exact same thing. That day, I got 5 bolts off the grille and 1 bolt off the radiator in like an hour and a half. And then someone on Facebook told me they were pretty sure, that I was removing bolts to the water pump that attaches to the radiator, and rather than removing the radiator from the fan and whatever. So I'm going to try and sort that out correctly today. Also, you might notice that, I don't know if the camera looks different, but my GoPro, which I charged yesterday, died after 10 seconds of footage. So I love GoPros. I've had them for 7 years since I've been shooting with GoPro, but they're just irritating as you know what. So here's our task for the day. Instead of going after, you can't even see it, the bolts down there in the dark, we're gonna tackle these two, which should be very easy, and that, but maybe I shouldn't speak too soon, and hopefully that, then I'm gonna take this hose off, and the hose at the bottom, I think that one's quite tricky. I have no idea how I'm gonna put that back on, but anyway, if there is coolant in here, which I'm starting to suspect there isn't, because that is, oh wait, that's looking pretty dry to me. So anyway, if there is a lot of coolant in here, come on, brain, that's not on at all. Spring loaded. If there is coolant in here, it will spill on the floor, which is fine. I think it's probably time to change this coolant anyway. Yes, I'm faffing. So someone on Facebook, as well as telling me about which bolts I was going after, did point out that the fan definitely is on the wrong way. So I think a combination of some coolant in the engine and the fan pointing in the correct direction might help with this car's overheating problem. Which means I feel very bad for driving it very hard, which I did a couple times. Update, so I've taken out the top bolts as well as the mounting bracket at the top that mounts it to the engine block. And I've also removed the hose. I'll probably show you what I'm talking about. So there used to be a little plate here which I've taken out, and that hose is now disconnected. This is so loose I can just grab it out myself. Can't quite tell how to disconnect that from here, but I'll just take the whole piece out if I have to. But I can see the fan, so we're getting there. I just have a bolt down here I need to get to. I really love using a socket wrench. Do you call it a socket wrench? Some people call it a ratcheting spanner. Whatever it is, I love it. It's very cool. I don't think I've given you an update for a while, so you might be wondering why I look like this. 2 reasons. Very hot. Also, the angle of the sun doesn't help with this hour because my carport is, overhead. The sun is, well, now the sun is actually overhead, so I have no excuse. The other reason is I've been busy. So, there's our radiator. It took ages to get that off. That's the radiator hose at the bottom. I think these are called Jubilee clips. They're bloody stubborn. I mean, you probably want them to be stubborn, but they're stubborn when you don't need them to be stubborn. Gloves I abandoned a long time ago. Radiator mounting bracket. Really glad I've videoed all of this because I'm going to have to figure out how to put this all back together later. The good news, as you can tell from the puddle on the floor, is that I did have coolant in my system, so that's great. I'm 2 bolts off on the fan. That's going really well. Get to show off my socket wrench, which is one of my favorite tools. Look at that. Yeah, and now it's time to turn the fan around and then put this whole bloody thing back together. Update. I was so hutful I forgot to video this. So I put the fan back. Well, yes, no. The fan is back in place, but now it is hitting the radiator bracket. And I've tried moving the radiator bracket, and that's the bolt I was struggling with the other day, so it's very hard to move. But here's our fan in the correct orientation, and as you can see here, when it spins, it's going to whack this radiator bracket, which is not good for, it's going to break basically. And I can't seem to move the bracket, which kind of just needs to go down a smidge, but you see it's, oh, you can't see this, but like this platform is like separate from that, and there isn't a bolt to pull that together. So I'm gonna give it like fresh perspective and Facebook mini page, see what people say, and hopefully that sorts me out. So I'm out for the day. Thanks for joining.